Hello. Welcome to the best podcast ever made in the history of ever. It's me, Justin, and
me, Derek,
and me, Stefania.
And you're listening to Still Scrolling, a podcast about being on the internet way too long, and we have so many things to talk about. But before we get into it, I'm begging you guys, please don't get mad at us, because we made a huge change. It's time to come clean. Clune? You know what? Fuck it. Anyway, we're moving the podcast to Tuesdays. So you're listening to this show a little bit earlier than usual, right? We advertised on Wednesday or everything, but now the response was so great. People love this podcast so much that we're now giving it to you a day earlier on Tuesdays for your listening ears. I'm excited about the change. Derek, Stefania, are you excited for a new earlier show?
Absolutely, because it's earlier in the week, and if people are driving to work or, whatever, it's something to listen to earlier in the week.
Yeah, personally, for me, on Wednesdays, I'm cashed. I'm checked out, So I'm not working. I'm not listening to a podcast. So I think Tuesday will get the very last bit of my attention, if, when it comes to, like, viewing things. Anything after that, I just don't ask me about it.
Don't ask me about it. But I encourage you guys to keep asking us about it. If you haven't heard, we have an Instagram page, a TikTok page, a Blue Sky page, and all those fancy things. If you have any thoughts about the episodes or stories that we should be talking about, please send us a carrier pigeon on any of those social media platforms, and we might even answer your questions, or maybe even give us a rating, or maybe even 5 stars if you're feeling really dangerous. You know that thing in podcasts where they tell you if you give us a 5-star rating, we'll read it on the air? We should adopt that. If you give us a 5-star rating, and it's not creepy or weird, we will read your comment on the air. Everyone cool with that?
Absolutely.
Yeah, we will personally jump in reading. So we'll take turns reading each word. I'll read a word, Stefania
like
read
popcorn
a word.
reading?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Every time I popcorn read it in class, it was always bad because someone couldn't read. If only there was a robot that could do all the reading. Speaking of robots doing all the reading, have you guys heard the big news about AI?
There's a lot of news about AI, especially from a few years ago. What's the news this time?
Okay, get this. I'm going to tell you the big AI story as if we're telling gossip, right? Okay. All right. So there's this company called DeepSeek in the AI industry, right? And nobody gave a fuck about them. I'm talking about, like, they got the bottom of the barrel chips to do all their work on. Meanwhile, Meta and Elon and all those chat GPT people, they're making hand over fist because they're coming to Silicon Valley and all the investors, and they're like, we need billions of dollars to make our AI. And they're like, whoa, really, bro? And they're like, yeah, bro, really, bro. And so they're making hand over fist and like, yeah, we need even more money because the computing power to make all of these AI chatbots, oh my gosh, we're using all the water in the ocean to do that. And that's when DeepSeek was in the shadows, lurking, waiting, using all old AI chips that nobody wanted. And they did all of the same job of all of these meta companies and stuff like that for only $6 million. And now the stock market is tanking because ChatGPT has been dethroned by DeepSeek. Guys, will your jobs be taken by AI? And do you care which AI chatbot it is? Stefania.
Well, considering I studied film in school, and I don't work in the film industry. Well, technically, I kind of do because I worked as a background actor. I still work as a background actor sometimes.
Wait, what? And what movies have I seen your work?
Are you on IMDb?
Actually, I am on IMDb, but for the school film that we did in college, I just don't. You need to pay for it, and to change it and stuff. I think, and I just haven't really committed to that, even though I should commit to it. Anyways,
wait, you're in The Godfather? What?
So funny. Okay, this is off topic.
Wait, hold on. It says here, Apocalypse Now?
What? Oh my
So-
God.
Totally off topic, right? Today I was at the mall because I went to get like a new scent at Bath and Body Works. And I walked by this jewelry store corner, right, as I left Bath and Body Works, and they were playing the Godfather theme. I was like,
Are you about to get shot right now?
no, I was like, did they know I was here? Like, this
Oh
is the music of my people.
They knew. They were like, yo, she was in it. Let's play the song.
Anyways, that was off topic. But going back to like the whole AI thing, and stealing our jobs and stuff. You remember a few years ago when they were like, we want to use AI background actors, just scan their faces and use them one time and that's it, and they don't get paid anywhere else.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the kind of stuff that is going on here, and that's the kind of fear that background actors and even like actors themselves, if they're not A-list at least, fear, because you could just scan our face and then pay us one time, not a lot of money, and then just use that face over and over again. And it's awful because a lot of background actors, they do it just for fun, or they do it to get their foot in the door of the film industry, or they do it because they like to be on set, like they like the experience and stuff, or they retired from their job and they need something else to do. There's a lot of people that like older people that have retired and are like, yeah, I do this for fun because I'm retired and I've always wanted to do this, so now I get the chance to. So it's stuff like that where it's like you're gonna lose all of that, lose all these people that love doing this, and just replace them with artificial faces. So that's one of the big fears of the film industry, as well as like other jobs that can be affected by it that are behind the camera, which is, and writing as well, writers, because there was a writer's strike as well. That is a big thing too, because now you can come up with any stories on ChatGPT, whatever, and just claim it as your own.
I thought the union said no to that, or did they throw you under the bus or something?
Well, no, obviously, we can't do that now, but like that's what we were fighting for 2 years ago.
Right. So, Derek, are you scared of a new AI chatbot coming in to, slide into those DMs and make you download malware?
I'm personally speaking, just end it. Like
AI or the world?
the world. Like
What? I live here, bro.
let's speed things up here. Let's
I
just
have
have
plans, bro.
the jump from AI to just full blown Skynet. Let's get this over with, and just end the suffering here. No, obviously I'm just kidding. My mind actually does go to what is Crispin Glover thinking about AI?
Crispin Glover? What? The
Yes.
guy from Back to the Future?
Yes, George McFly. In case you're not aware, he was not in the second and third Back to the Future movies.
Oh, yeah. They replaced him.
They replaced him and they put prosthetics on the new guy to make him look like George McFly looked, right? Like Crispin Glover.
Mhm.
And he ended up suing, I guess, Robert Zemeckis and the studio and all that stuff for doing that, because it was still his image, right? Like it was still literally his face that they were using. So like fast forward now, and it kind of reminds me a lot about how, he almost kind of predicted this in a sense. Like I'm sure that wasn't his intent. He was just trying to get that money. But that's kind of where we're at now, right? Like you had all these people that you needed physical, like actual human beings to do things, even if it is just for like a background role or something like that. And we're kind of moving away from that. And you don't really know to what extent they're going to scan you and then just never bother to deal with you ever again. Right. And then
yeah,
just existing as a human though, too. Right. Like my face, I sometimes freak out and want to like delete all my social media because I think about how I've uploaded myself speaking and doing gestures and mannerisms and my facial, like, everything. It's just anybody can just Mission Impossible me if they wanted to, because of everything that I've personally uploaded onto the internet. So I think that's kind of where we're heading. I think it's just more like a matter of time when that's going to happen.
Here's the thing, though. Here's why I brought this up to you guys, because here's the part where it directly affects all of us on this call. Is like, because we all have Instagram profiles, right? The company that's really shaking in our boots is Meta. Because number one, they've invested a lot of money into the metaverse, right? Number two, they were really invested in the AI, especially because they were planning to make AI profiles that would comment and interact on people's posts, right? That's kind of like our job as content creators to get people to, I don't want robots, I want actual like companies and things like that, you know? And to be honest with you, number three, as a black man, I'm slightly less worried than you guys, because all of these AI chatbots and all of these AI figures, you know what they're not most of the time? Black people. When's the last time you saw an AI black person? Think about it.
You're not wrong.
Yeah.
I think my job is a little bit more secure than you guys. I'm just saying, like, think about it. Like, people will know that if it's a black person talking, that might be an actual black person, because AI is weirdly doesn't hire black robots. Have you guys noticed this too, or am I crazy?
Yeah, no.
Just look.
No,
You're right.
Now that you say it, I'm like, yeah, you're kind of right.
See. So companies out there, if you're really worried about AI, the quick answer is just to hire me. I'll say anything on camera, and you can know if it's a real person. I'll sell whatever, like some bad smoothies or something like that. That's me. I'll do it.
It is interesting that what's the new company? Deep Sea? What's it called?
Deep Seek.
Deep Seek. It is interesting that Deep Seek was able to do what they've done and basically be a competitor overnight, seemingly. Obviously not overnight.
Right.
With a fraction of the budget, because it just speaks to how full of shit every single thing people like capitalists do, right? Like everything they do, they're full of shit to some degree. It's just a matter of like how much, and to need and raise money and spend it in the billions for something like AI, and then just have somebody be like, I did it for not even double-digit millions. I did it for $6 million. Is kind of cool. It's kind of like anti-establishment, but not really, obviously, because it's still like perpetuating the use of AI. But it is kind of funny to me. It does make me laugh a little bit, and I would love to see some stock prices tanking, right? Because you mentioned that the stock market went a little crazy with this. I've only noticed it happening to NVIDIA, right? Because they're the chips. They make the chips. They make the hardware. But like, I want to see that go a step further and like impact Twitter stock, right? With their Gronk AI or whatever, Chat GPT. I'm not sure they're publicly traded, but I'd want to see like some sort of a ramification with them. Meta stock, take a shit. I would love to see that. Like, that's my kind of like silver lining in all of this.
Speaking of silver linings, I heard there might be a bird, a plane, or something in the sky. Have you seen the new Superman clip? I'll let you introduce the story. Go ahead.
I have seen the new Superman clip, and I've also seen the fact that people apparently hate David Corenswet's normal face. So there's a clip
called. That's a nice face.
Yeah,
that's I've seen that face in person. It's a nice face.
You met Superman?
I almost did. He Clark Kented me, bro.
Wait, what? Story time. Go.
Another story time. Here we go. So when I went to the Superman Christopher Reeve documentary premiere last year, I did not know he was there. My friends and I were waiting in like the lobby after the movie, and I was kind of not paying attention to the conversation, but in the corner of my eye, I saw this man standing against a wall, and it looked like he was waiting for someone. And I took like quick glances. I was like, he looks so familiar. It was like very quick glances, so I didn't really get a chance to like. I don't want to stare, right? Mm-hmm. And then he walks by. The person he was waiting for comes back. He walks by. I take my chance to look, and it's David Corenswet. In my head, I go, oh my God, that's Superman. And I did not recognize him.
Wow.
And instead of like going after him, whatever, to try and get like a photo, I turned back to my friends and I'm like, did you guys know David Corenswet was here? And there, two of them were like, yeah, we took a photo with him upstairs.
Traitors.
So my friend that I brought to the premiere, he was like, do you want to go out there and see if you can get him? I'm like, yes. So we go out there and there's a whole line of black SUVs along the sidewalk, and they're all tinted windows, and David is gone. He's probably in one of the cars, and he's looking at this one person that's just like looking around, which is me, like where I'm looking for him. Yeah, he Clark Kented me. I didn't recognize him until it was too late.
It'd be like that.
That's my story time.
I hope you're not friends with those people anymore.
Well, we're still mutuals online, of course.
Nah, that's deletion. That's deletion. Block, if you will.
Next time.
I met Tyler Hoechlin before he was Superman once.
Oh, nice.
But yeah, it's pretty nice. He's pretty buff too. He was before. He was just like randomly ripped.
I have met none of the Supermen, unfortunately. Yeah.
Not even Brendan Rock.
No. Actually,
I met Tom Welling too.
Tom Welling, that's a good one.
Yeah, I posted on Instagram. I met him at Superhero Comic-Con last year in Texas.
Interesting. Okay.
And I was Supergirl.
Nice.
You met him as Supergirl? Crazy. Anyway.
He loved. Oh my God. I mean, you guys can look it on my page, but like,
all right.
He loved my Supergirl.
This is just gonna be a Tom Welling stan podcast from now on.
He loved. I mean, he was wearing a cowboy hat. He was huge. Like, man's cowboy.
Yeah, he's a big dude. Yeah.
Yeah. So like another story, I guess. My friends. I was there as a cosplay guest.
How many celebrities have you met? Like, yeah, this is the whole podcast of like, yeah, I met this person. Yeah, I met that person.
So my friends had asked me if I wanted to be in their photo because you could have up to 4 people, right? So I was like, sure. I was there as a cosplay guest. And I was dressed as Supergirl. And we wait in line, and we walk in. I think I was the first one in. Or no, I wasn't. I was like behind my friends, and my friends are huge. And Tom Welling sees me, and he goes, oh, Supergirl, you're going to go right here. He grabs me by my shoulders, puts me right in front of him.
Tom.
and we take that. What's funny is that my friends were like, so as soon as Tom saw you, we were invisible to him. It was just you, and I was dying. If you see the photo, it actually did pretty well on Instagram. But like, he's still holding my shoulders in the photo, and he was like cheesing, bro, with a cowboy hat on. I was tiny too. You could. So he's huge.
Sounds like it got pretty serious, right? You guys have been going steady.
Okay.
All right. Back to the current Superman, right? And Stefania, maybe you can confirm this for us. People are upset that in the new clip from the Superman movie, where David Corenswet's Superman does a barrel roll in the Arctic, they say his face looks very weird, and that it looks like it's CGI'd and AI-ish, and it's asymmetrical, and it's kind of weird. So Stefania, help us out here. Is David Corenswet asymmetrically ugly?
Asymmetrically ugly?
Yes.
No.
Okay. Confirmed it's CGI then, I guess, right? No, obviously, just kidding. So
I actually didn't look at that clip. I don't know if there's like a screenshot of it.
Yeah, go on.
I only saw the close up of it, like him flying and people like memeing that.
Go on the Still Scrolling Threads account. Also, if you're listening or watching this podcast right now, you should also go on the Still Scrolling Threads account, and it's on there. It's the one that says dual barrel roll. So I think what this one boils down to is that people at some point in the last decade or so have gotten these preconceived ideas of what their superheroes should look like, and that they shouldn't be impacted by like the physics of flying and having like the wind kind of brush up against your face and in your hair and your eyes. But then also from an aesthetic perspective on how these movies are filmed, specifically with DC, Zack Snyder, there's a standard, for better or worse, that people are used to. And when we had like a Henry Cavill type of Superman who was almost always sculpted, right? Like the expressions were there depending on the scene, I guess. But the action shots and the strain, like it didn't exist with that type of a Superman. It was almost like he was always a statue. He was always this like chiseled specimen of a person. And then when you have now this David Corenswet situation where he's flying hundreds of miles per hour through the air in the Arctic, his face is going to get a little flappy, right? His eyes are going to not be the same size, right? Because there's wind blowing. And yes, he's Superman. He's invulnerable. It does, like it doesn't hurt him to fly at that speed, but his being still interacts with the laws of physics. So they're still going to have impacts. It's still going to have an impact on how he's flying. But what do you guys think? Because I'm obviously very clearly on the this doesn't look bad side. But what do you guys think? Because I think it looks fine.
I think I don't give a fuck. No, I mean, and what I mean by that is the clip is too short for me to really have an opinion. The clip is not representative of the entire movie. I care that Superman was saving children. I like that he has a dog. I like that he kissed Lois Lane, not on a pile of ashes. I think we're on to a good start. If we're talking about the face flappies, the face flappies, really?
Yeah, be serious.
Be serious. Give me a legitimate criticism at the very least. You know what I mean? I've been on the record on this podcast is that I am very apprehensive about James Gunn leading an entire universe, especially after watching Creature Commandos. Yeah. Because to me, I did not enjoy Creature Commandos. It just wasn't my jam. Some people loved it. It just wasn't for me. But the face flappies on David Corenswet's face are not my concern. I'm concerned about themes, character development. Right, Stefania?
Right, absolutely. No, because you get this all the time with these superhero movies where people will comment on the CGI. And I think we had this conversation before, but it's really like I honestly, with some things, yes, I want CGI to look good, right? Otherwise, it'll take away from the scene, right? But dude is flying. What happens when you fly? What happens if you're on a roller coaster? Your face is going to flap, right? It's literally the same thing if you were flying. Your face is going to be flappy. Not everybody has a chiseled face like Henry Cavill. So even then, like, I'm sure Henry Cavill's face would still be flappy, right? If there wasn't any CGI put on it or to make him look good.
It's also the direction that is that the movie has, right? Like I think there's the scene in Man of Steel where like the terraforming machine is like pounding down on Henry Cavill, which is a very weird sentence, but it's like he's trying to fly up against the machine, and even in that scene, like his face is barely like doing anything, right? It's like he's straining.
I
he
hate
is
that
like
scene so much. I hate it so much.
But it doesn't necessarily look like he's getting this sci-fi machine literally pressing him down into the planet. And then, so it's just one of those, like, that's just the direction that the movie's going. And there's this thing with the internet where, and it happens way more than it should, but I hate when people make me defend things that I don't want to defend. So that shot of Corenswet's face, right, that Adam Warlock had in Guardians of the Galaxy, Black Adam, the greatest DC EU hero movie of all time.
Get the fuck out.
Black Adam had the same shot. Not Fox. What's his name? Man, I can't believe I don't know his name.
Warlock?
No. From Sonic. Tails. Tails, there's a shot of Tails. He does it in the new Sonic movie as well. That same wide angle tracking on the face as they fly, that shot has been done time and time again. Like, it's not anything new. There's no new invention, with the exception, I think, of Tails. The same like asymmetrical face, with the eyes being not matching and the wind flapping. That also applies to those other movies and those other characters. And nobody said anything about it then, right? But they became memes. They became kind of silly because they are kind of like silly shots. I don't like that shot. I don't like the wide angle lens. I don't like that center tracking with the distortion that the wide angle lens gives. I don't like it. But I feel compelled to defend it when people are like, oh, the CGI and the AI in this movie is so bad. Look at his eyes. He's cross-eyed. And it's just like, well, why don't you try flying 800 miles an hour in the Arctic and see how your face ends up looking? Actually, this is a decent shot from like a technical standpoint. What you don't like is that the aesthetics don't match what you prefer. That's all.
Ooh, mic drop.
Damn.
Sorry. That's
You
my
got
rant.
'em.
All right. I'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Oh man.
Now they're gonna be like, cancel Derek.
Oh,
yes.
yeah. They're coming for me, hopefully.
If you believe in the Snyderverse and believe that the Snyderverse should be restored, I need you to write in the comment section, cancel Derek this week.
Okay. Justin, let me ask you a question, Justin. Let me ask you a question one time. Which master do you serve? No. That was a Doctor Strange reference, by the way. That wasn't
what
like
master do I serve?
Yeah, this was a Doctor Strange reference.
Jesus?
It was not. Yeah. Okay. Wasn't like a racial thing or anything. All right.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Cancel
Bro
Derek.
went there. He probably wasn't even thinking it, and you went there anyway.
I did.
I
because
quoted the movie.
he
Infinity
quoted the
War.
movie. He
did.
understood the reference.
He
I
did,
am just
but
guilt.
you
I have
tried
the
to cover
guilt.
your ass.
I have the
Mhm.
guilt.
See, this is why
Anyway.
we need reparations.
And-
Don't make me pull out Black History Corner. Don't make me.
Yes, sir.
Such a hit last week. Wow.
Okay, let me ask
Crazy.
you a question though. Seriously though, do you believe the Snyderverse should be restored? Let's
No,
just
I
clear
think
that up.
we should kill it with fire. I think I never want to see anyone from the Snyderverse ever again. I'm so done. I'm beyond done. I never want to be like, oh, put it on Netflix. No, we're done.
The Netflix thing was silly.
Here's the thing. That whole universe was skewed on an axis I do not believe in when it comes to superhero movies. Like when you were talking about the face flappies, when what's his name, Henry Cavill was like being like sucked in by gravity, wherever the fuck that was. I cried in Man of Steel. There's one time I cried in Man of Steel, and that's when the world's about to end, and then Lawrence Fishburne is playing Perry White, and him and Doug Stamper are trying to get the girl
out of the
out of the
wreckage.
rubble.
Yeah.
Right. And Superman is not like gonna save them. And it's like, oh shit, we're doing a 9/11 again at like times 1,000. I was
Yeah.
Superman's gonna come, right? And he never fucking comes and saves them. I was like, oh my god, existential dread.
You don't
And
get
he's-
it, okay? It's an origin story. He was just finding himself for who he
No,
was.
and
okay?
then he smashes the thing, takes Lois Lane, and makes out on the rubble of Metropolis. And I'm like, that's not a superhero. That's more like a rock star. And I don't want rock stars. I want superheroes. And that's like the whole skewed ethos of these movies, that they
Yeah.
are more concerned with the visuals,
right.
which are good, but are the heart of Superman, right? They aren't.
You
And-
could have both. You could have both.
I guess I would rather get the character, or at least
Like, that's the
a
thing.
world
Even
where Superman that can't save his own dad from a tornado.
Bro said, wait.
he said,
Why? Why? Everyone
Look,
else
I
in
had-
the town knew he had powers. He
I
saved
had-
all of their children from a bus crash. Remember?
I had a
Yes.
back and forth with a mutual of mine on this because he likes it. He thinks it works. I disagree. I think if he's able to do it as Superman, he should do it, and that's not as impactful as the heart attack version of the death. Or just him
that
not
works.
dying at all. Him not dying at all. Maybe they write a version where him and Paul have a falling out. They disagree on something, and that's why he moves to Metropolis in the first place or something. While we're making drastically different choices with the character, right? Let's do something like that instead of just like, don't save my life. I hated it. I hated it so much.
Yeah. Sorry, Stefania Supergirl. Sorry to crush your dreams.
Oh yeah, how do you feel? How do you feel about the Snyderverse? Obviously, I think we all like Sasha Calle as Supergirl. Right?
You know what? I really don't want to put her as part of the Snyderverse.
Right.
She is.
I know, but like she was so good that like we don't get to see her again. I kind of want to disassociate her from the Snyderverse and just pick her up and pluck her into the James Gunn verse, even though there's already a Supergirl, the blonde version Supergirl. But then she could be Power Girl, and then we can get. Anyway, I don't know how. Whatever.
Actually, I take back my previous statement. I only want one replay of this Snyderverse. I want Batgirl. I want Leslie Grace, which we never saw it.
It's got to play the first time. It's not even a replay.
Here's what's fucked up about that. We had a great cast of Batgirl, right? But you had what's J. Jonah Jameson as what's his name?
Commissioner Gordon.
Commissioner Gordon with a Michael Keaton Batman from another universe training this universe's Batgirl.
Very weird.
What are we doing?
Yeah.
What legitimately? Why? What are we doing?
I mean, the Flash movie, for what it's worth, did a better job at kind of elevating Michael Keaton's Batman into something that should exist within a more fantastical universe. Because 89 Keaton Batman is ridiculous. Like, he's just a guy with guns and missiles that beats people up. Like, he's not anything special per se. But like the gear and the action sequences and all that kind of was better for Michael Keaton. But then just again, J. Jonah Jameson, I don't think was the best choice for Commissioner Gordon. I don't think the rest of the universe, I don't think it really worked. So on top of like trying to make a very loose connection between Michael Keaton and Leslie Grace, you're then now competing with the fact that the rest of the universe is a disaster.
Yeah. Burn it with fire. I never want to see it again. But speaking of never seeing things again, I heard we're not getting a WandaVision season 2 or an Agatha All Along season 2.
Absolutely not.
Stefania, have you heard about this? What's going on?
I sure have heard about this. Yeah. So, Jack Schaefer, it doesn't want to do a season 2 of Agatha or WandaVision. Jack Schaefer is the showrunner. And she doesn't want to do season 2 because she doesn't like doing season 2s. She said she shut down a proposed season 2 for Agatha. And this is what Patti LuPone said in an interview. Proposed season 2 for the same reason she declined a second WandaVision. So yeah, for anyone out there that wanted a second season of Agatha All Along, I don't think we're going to get one. But I wouldn't worry too much about that because it doesn't mean the story is not going to continue. It's just going to continue in a different project, probably with the Young Avengers, or something along that line. Because obviously, spoiler, I guess, but it's been so long, so not really a spoiler. They have to go find Tommy at the end of Agatha.
Whoa!
And yeah,
who's that?
Tommy. Oh, Tommy, aka Speed, aka the twin of Billy Maximoff, aka Wiccan. They have
survived?
The children of Wanda Maximoff and Vision. They have to Agatha and Billy have to find Tommy, and we're not going to see that in a season 2. So we're just going to see that in a different show. So sorry, guys. I know a lot of people loved Agatha All Along. I loved Agatha All Along. I thought it was very fun. I mean, as long as I get to see Agatha again on the screen, then I'm okay with that.
I'm calling bullshit. No,
BS
no.
on me or BS on like they're not going to do season 2?
Yeah, we were.
We gotta stop acting like Agatha All Along is not WandaVision season 2.
It technically is, yeah.
Like,
And also,
Right.
technically
let's call a
season
spade a
2
spade.
of, not really season 2 of WandaVision, but like a season 2 of WandaVision was just Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness.
I would
Truly.
say
Not really a season 2,
no.
but like a continuation.
But I would say no to that because it felt like they didn't give a fuck about WandaVision.
They know.
They did not.
And you saw Doctor Strange too. You're like,
They were
what
like,
the
"Give
fuck?"
me." Sam
Yeah.
Raimi was like, "Give me the Spark Notes, baby," and
Well,
that's what.
They were being made at the same time.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
give them some. Yeah, COVID fucked up the entire timeline. There was a whole draft where America Chavez was supposed to be in Spider-Man 3. I get it. Like, I get it, the whole thing. Oh, you didn't hear about this, Derek?
No, I did not know that.
Yeah, but that was the thing that was supposed to bring the others, because she can, like, enter, like, dimensions and shit like that. Anyway, it was a
Oh, I
whole
think I
thing.
did hear about this. That would have been really cool.
Yeah. Would've. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. But so, Agatha, you're telling me that we did a whole nother series where we were all tricked into thinking that these distinct worlds that we're entering each week, that's not a sequel to WandaVision? Jack Schaefer.
Right.
Jack. I think it's WandaVision, Agatha All Along, and then we're going to get Vision Quest. I
Yes.
think that's
Forgot
the
about that.
trilogy.
I literally forgot about Vision Quest.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, me
Because I haven't
too.
heard anything about it in like a year or two.
Yeah, we're not
There's
going
a
to.
lot of things.
The same way we didn't get a Wiccan show, we got an Agatha show. The same way we
Yeah.
didn't get like a just a Wanda show. We had a Wanda and Vision show, which you get the whole family going.
It would be interesting if Vision Quest was
Tommy?
What was that?
Had Tommy.
Right. Yes.
Beep.
It'd be interesting if the quest that Vision is on in Vision Quest is probably multifaceted, but includes Tommy. It includes Billy and Tommy and a daddy and twins reunion. That'd be kind of cool.
Can we
Or
be
it could
real?
be like Vision and what's his name? His like his wife that's and his daughter
The
that are just like
Visions?
him. The Visions, yeah, basically. You could have
Viv
them.
Vision.
Viv Vision, yes, I totally forgot her name. And the dog Sparky. They could also show up in Vision Quest. I don't know if that was like not a rumor, but like people have like theorized.
Here's the thing, though. Do we give a fuck about White Vision?
No.
No.
No, where'd he go? Where'd he
Do
go?
we give a fuck about Speed?
Yes.
Even the comics don't give a fuck about Speed. When's the last time you read a good Speed story?
Okay, but I care about him in like the MCU. I mean, not the comics, but
care
in the
about-
MCU.
I care about him in on a bus with Sandra Bullock. Like that was a good
Get the
speed
fuck
story.
out of here, Derek.
Oh my god.
It's I say that because we're focusing on some characters that don't have a lot of good stories about them. And I say that not because you can't make a good movie. Like Agatha had a good show.
Yeah.
That was incredible. But like,
But do we need it?
do we need it?
Yeah.
Or can we let's just write
Yeah.
the Young Avengers show?
Yeah. And I
Sure.
hesitate to say, do we need it? Because it's almost adjacent to like, who asked for this? Which like the weirdos like to say.
I say
But-
that
It's not the same. It's like, do we move the greater plot forward with this story, with this character? Or do we do it with another character that would probably be better suited to it? I think that's what I mean when I say, do we need it?
When I say do we need it, I'm thinking like I'm in a space emotionally with these franchises where we can't fuck around anymore.
Yeah.
With all of them. Star Wars, Game of Thrones, DC. I don't want to fuck around anymore. I need the hit.
Yeah.
I don't trust you anymore.
Yeah.
No, man.
I need
Yeah.
the hit of
Yeah.
like, give me a story, give me the connective tissue that I'm craving.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, like things like Loki season 2 are great, but it doesn't lead anywhere. It hasn't led to anything. In fact, we cut that shit down because of Kang and Jonathan Majors. You know what I mean? Like it's a dead tree. I don't want any
Yeah.
more dead trees in Marvel where it just leads to nothing.
It's
and I
gonna
don't
be
see a speed show or a speed focused thing leading to anything besides just making the Young Avengers show where that is the task. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't think it would be more of like a speed focused show. I think Vision Quest would be focusing on like something else, but he'll like kind of be like a side quest deal. But
Not the Vision Quest, but the
not the
side
Vision
quest.
but the side quest. But I do agree that like with the Young Avengers, they could just do because they're not like as big of characters as the Avengers, where they needed their own movies before coming together in the first phase at the end, right? I feel like there's not enough plot for them to have their own individual things, even though Miss Marvel had her own thing, and Hawkeye. But I don't think we need any more of that. We have like kind of the two, I guess, major characters of the Young Avengers, or some of the major ones that already have their own stuff, and then you could just kind of introduce the rest in the Young Avengers.
right.
Who would you put on the Young Avengers?
We have Hawkeye, Kate Bishop,
Right.
Miss Marvel,
Should have been a movie.
Speed, Speed and Wiccan. But also you have what's his name?
This is not a good sign.
Was it like Captain Patriot or something, or what's his name? The nephew.
Patriot.
Yeah, Isaiah's
Patriot.
nephew. Yeah.
Yeah, Isaiah's nephew, Patriot. Is that 5? How many do you really need?
Yeah, 4.
I'm
Am
at
I
4?
done?
Who else am I missing? Those are like the 4 that are on the.
Missing a big one.
It's not Yelena. Yelena is older.
Yeah.
Is
Hopefully.
she? Is she Adventure
know-
style?
No, she's part of the Thunderbolts. I wouldn't say that she'd be part of the Young Avengers. Oh, Ironheart. Yeah, Ironheart. That's her name. Did I get it right?
Yeah, like
Okay.
3 heroes missing.
Really?
Oh, I mean,
What am I
3
missing?
some tiny heroes that have
Oh,
been.
you have Ant-Man's daughter. What's her name?
This is not a good sign.
Cassie.
No, Cassie Lang. Yeah.
What's the superhero name?
Oh shoot, what is it?
Little
I know
girl.
it too. Oh god, it doesn't start with like an S or something.
My head. See, Marvel, I hope you're listening. Maybe we need to get to these characters sooner than later. We've forgotten them. This
Yeah.
is the
true.
point that I'm
It's
making.
been years.
Yeah. I think it's a good
Yeah.
thing we're heading into the X-Men era.
And it's like it's because they haven't really mattered. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, I love Cassie, the 3rd or 4th Cassie Lang that we've gotten. She seems fun. We haven't seen her since Ant-Man 3.
Yeah.
yeah,
Cassie Lang, Miss Marvel.
right.
Yeah, Miss Marvel, Hawkeye, Patriot.
It's also that's the tough
Hulkling.
part with
Hulkling was
live
a
action.
last-minute addition, you know?
I was gonna say Hulkling, but I wasn't sure if he was part of it as well.
Scar? Is he count as Hulkling, or is he
What's
just
Scar?
someone?
Oh,
Hulk's
Scar's Hulk's
son?
son. Hey, we
Well-
forgot about Scar.
My son.
Hey,
Oh, has a receding hairline.
my son with
at
a
like 20
busted
years old.
hairline needs a refund from the barber.
At 20
Leave
years.
Scar alone. He didn't even have a line or a
He
line
didn't.
up. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh man,
Oh my god.
Oh gosh, still scrolling, guys.
he went to what is it? He went to the barber shop and he said, "You know Stephen A. Smith?" And the barber said, "Say no more, fam."
We're done. See,
Ugh.
I'm sorry, Kevin. We don't mean to roast a character that could snap me in half.
It's true.
It just,
He's
I
not
just want
like his hairline.
stop. Leave Scar alone.
Leave Scar
Oh gosh,
Man, oh,
it keeps getting worse. It keeps getting worse. Gosh,
Yeah.
dang.
But
Oh my
also,
gosh.
but for the record, I don't think that's supposed to be Hulkling. I think they're keeping their options open. I think
Options open.
I think
Okay.
they're what is it? Wiccan's boyfriend. I don't think we ever see him. Right? I don't even think we even hear him in the show.
In Agatha, he has a
Right.
boyfriend.
Right. Is that supposed to be Hulkling?
Is it?
I don't know.
Teddy or Eddie?
Wait.
Yeah.
We don't know, right?
We don't know.
His name was like Eddie. Teddy is Hulkling.
Yeah.
Maybe I need an ear exam. Or
No,
subtitles.
I think they purposely wanted to trick you, or they got cold feet. You know what I mean?
It could be.
Probably.
But I just want. It's like, what are the chances we're going to see all these people in Secret Wars too?
Oh,
Or even
where's Mephisto?
We'll see
You know
them.
what I mean?
We'll see them like the portal scene where they're just there, you know.
Well, I
And
mean,
it's-
they could have a B plot in Doomsday. I need Sam. I think we're 2 weeks away from Brave New World.
2.5.
He better get a fucking Avengers team. I want Shawarma with She-Hulk, Shang-Chi.
Hell yeah.
Fuck it, throw Wolverine on there, some shit. Somebody
Wong.
give him
I don't
a
even
team.
want Doctor Strange anymore. Just give me Wong.
Well, Doctor Strange is not going to be in Doomsday. We're on the street.
Oh, yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
Like, this is like a secret bonus story. He's just going to be in Secret Wars, which kind of like, dang, I think that team really needed Doctor Strange because all great teams have a teleporter, number one. And he provides a perspective that I think is sorely lacking in the Avengers lineup, but that's a whole nother thing.
I think Strange is being replaced by Reed. I think that's what's happening, and it's like, oh, the callous guy who just does what has to be done, you know, because science or fate or whatever. They're just replacing fate and destiny or whatever with like the science man.
I think he needs to stay on the Fantastic Four before he moves up to Avenger status,
Yeah.
but that's just
Right.
me,
Right.
you know?
Well, speaking of characters we're not going to see or we haven't seen in a long time, where's Mephisto?
Just you wait.
I think he's
Sacha
sitting
Baron
in.
Cohen?
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
gonna
yeah,
be an
yeah.
Ironheart.
Yeah, that was like a thing like last year, like beginning of last year, and then like dead. Never heard of it again. So, when is Ironheart supposed to come out? Because I haven't heard anything about it.
Who knows? But speaking of coming out, did you guys hear about what that face for?
I don't know what the hell are you talking about.
The next story. Let me segue
Okay.
like
Okay.
I'm
Sorry.
supposed to do.
Sorry. Go ahead.
I have literally one job. Let me segue.
I'm gonna get you a
Um,
segue.
Yes. Speaking of coming, you know what? Now the segue doesn't work. Now it doesn't work.
Let's just
I was
rewind.
trying to figure out how it
Let's
worked.
just rewind. Let's go.
Okay. Oh, look. Speaking of coming out, did you hear that we're coming out with a new Star Wars movie starring everyone's favorite Black Panther, Ryan Gosling?
Yeah, he beat me for the role for Black Panther, actually.
True.
Yeah, I never got a
Stefania
call
gave
back.
it all
I
she
saw about
had.
that.
I'm
Yeah.
still waiting to hear back if they'll cast me as they're recasting Okoye. They might. I audition.
Are you willing to shave your head?
Yeah, that's the least of it.
All right, cool.
That's the easiest part, honestly. You're
Yeah.
still gonna do all that fucking training, you
I gotta
know?
do everything else. Yeah, for sure.
It's okay. They gave her an Iron Man suit. Weird. Anyway, sorry. Anyway, Ryan Gosling is going to be making a Star Wars movie with Sean Levy. I bring this up because we talked about AI earlier in this show, and this feels like an AI idea.
Mhm.
We take insert popular actor, insert popular franchise, insert popular director. You get Ryan Gosling in Star Wars. What are the chances of this movie actually happening? Is it over 70%? Over under?
71%, I would say.
Interesting,
Yeah,
Stefania.
you know, I have to agree with Derek. I feel like it would happen because it's a money grab if you think about it.
That's it. This shit ain't happening. I guarantee.
It
I
does sound like an AI
guarantee-
like idea.
Yeah.
Well, I say it because there is. Remember when Patty Jenkins was gonna make a Rogue Squadron movie?
Yes.
Remember when we almost got a Obi-Wan movie, then it got turned into a show?
Yeah.
Remember
At
when
least that's what came out.
Remember when we got a Yoda movie? Oh wait. Remember when they were talking about a Boba Fett movie?
Oh wait.
Remember when Chris Evans
show.
and Brie Larson were talking about joining Star Wars?
You know what though? The Boba Fett movie getting turned into a show was worth it because of the
Remember when we got a
cool,
Lando show?
there was supposed to be a Lando show?
Yeah,
Oh,
they
shit.
announced the Lando show.
With Donald Glover.
Justin
Oh,
Simeon was
yeah.
going to direct it.
Oh, wow.
Where is that?
That actually would have been really cool.
The thing is, I highly doubt this is actually going to happen. We have gone, it is now 6 years without a Star Wars movie. And I love Ahsoka up until the last 2 episodes. But Star Wars does not belong on television. We need to get back into the theaters. We need to rip that Band-Aid off. I'm tired of seeing Star Wars every week. I'm tired of it.
Yeah.
I love Skeleton Crew. It should have been a movie. It should have been a movie.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I have a hard time thinking that Kevin Feige was supposed to produce a Star Wars movie. Where is that?
I remember that. Yeah.
There's so many announcements. Oh, it didn't work out. Oh, we changed directors. Oh, we changed writers. We still don't have a Rey movie. We were supposed to get a Jedi Order movie with James Mangold. Where's that at? There have been so many announcements. You know what I mean? I think they got the DC curse. And they're not going to, like, I don't know, announce. I'm still waiting on that Cyborg movie. I'm just saying. Stefania, do you actually think that we will see a Ryan Gosling in a Star Wars movie?
It's kind of he sounds it sounds like a goofy thing to have Ryan Gosling in a Star Wars. Like, what would he even play? What kind of role would he play? I mean, it'd be similar to like it'd be similar to like Blade Runner 2099, that kind of style character, I would assume, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a lot of things that Star Wars has announced and has not put out. But we do have Star Wars Celebration this year, right? So we could get an update on a lot of things, maybe confirmations on a lot of things, because it's technically confirmed that we're getting another Rey movie, right? So at least that's kind of set in stone. Maybe we'll get an update about that. But I kind of agree. I miss going to the theater to see a Star Wars movie. I don't enjoy just sitting in my living room or my room watching a show on Disney Plus. There's just a thrill about going to see a Star Wars movie in the theater. That's why they brought back Empire last year for the anniversary or something, and everyone went to go see it in theaters.
People
and
love
they're
it.
doing with Revenge of the Sith this year as well for the anniversary. Like, people love going to the theaters to see Star Wars. That's part of the enjoyment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. My gripe with Star Wars is that, and this is a little bit of a nitpick, I guess, technically speaking, but people say Star Wars is too diverse and DEI and blah, blah, blah. I don't think it's diverse enough, but not in like real life Earth diversity, but in aliens. There's way too many humans or human adjacent species in the Star Wars universe.
You want to see more tentacles?
Yeah. For reasons I won't disclose on here, but yes.
Hey, yo.
Yeah. No, I want to see
family show.
I want to see more aliens. I really do. Even like bare minimum, just like Darth Maul. I forget the name of his race, but that type of an alien at least, right? But it feels like everything Star Wars related that comes out has just too many humans. Skeleton Crew, it made sense to an extent because it was like this isolated planet and it was supposed to be off the grid. Nobody really leaves or comes in and whatever. They don't have that diversity because of years of basic
Half the crew
solitude.
wasn't human.
What was that?
Half the skeleton crew wasn't human.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like it made sense in that context. But in the larger context of Star Wars, where are the aliens? There's not enough of them. We get every now and then inside of an X-Wing, there's an alien, and it's basically just a guy wearing a head, right? Like a prosthetic head, and that's about it. Like, I want more aliens piloting the ships, just being generals in whatever reboot of the rebellion we're in that era, right? Like, there's even the Mandalorians, right? It feels almost like it's a victim to the reality of real life, right? Like, it's probably difficult to do that. So I understand why they don't put 50% of the cast as aliens, right? Because that would probably be like an insane amount of prep time every single day. Not just prep time, but then like post time, like just to put in Drax in Guardians of the Galaxy, for example, was
Is
hours.
Ahsoka enough for you? Ahsoka was an alien.
Ahsoka was fine, and that and in the entire series, she was the only alien. And
You're gonna get a
Hera.
lot of
Wait a
people
minute.
like alien. Like she's not an alien. She's and they'll name the species. I don't remember the species.
Yeah, I
but-
don't know the species either, but it was her and
You're gonna
Hera.
get a lot of people saying that.
It was her and Hera, and that's it. Everybody else was a human.
I'm cool with that. I don't need aliens into. I think it's just us humans recognize other humans.
Yeah. I mean, if you think about it, if they had the time and the money to do that, they would.
Right.
But it's very expensive. Even if you do like practical effects, it takes a lot of time. Like sometimes people are like 8 hours in the chair just
Yeah.
putting on prosthetics. It's a hassle. So I am honestly, that's not something that I really mind in the Star Wars movies. If obviously if like the main character they could do that with because they could afford to do that, right? Because it's the main character. But like anybody else, they don't really need to do that.
I want a Jabba the Hutt movie. Okay.
He's the bear is gonna be Jabba the
Yeah.
Hutt's nephew.
Oh,
Fucking
yes.
Glup Shido, whatever the fuck. What's it? No, like
Yes, chef.
I think he's not Stinky the Hut. What, Zero
Yeah.
or someone?
Yeah, yeah.
One of the Jabba's nephew's sons. I was like, of all the people he could have been, of all the people the bear could have
It's
been,
kinda
in Star
random.
Wars,
It's
you're
kind of
making
random.
him a Hut. Dave Filoni, are you? Okay, I'm talking to you, Dave.
Yes,
Filoni.
Jabba.
I need you to be fucking for real. Please. I'm asking to be fucking serious. If I go to the Mandalorian Grogu movie and I see the bear telling people
Having a panic
CGI
attack. Smoking a cigarette.
panic attack, I'm gonna lose it. I need something to fight for, and it's very hard to keep fighting for Star Wars when we keep doing silly shit like this.
Yeah.
I know I'm not popular in this opinion, but I think Mandalorian should have ended at season 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
The whole third
Yeah.
season was whack. Boba Fett was whack. The best part of Boba Fett show was the part
The
where he
spin
wasn't
move.
in it.
The spin move on the motorcycles.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
It's just I guess I just disagree with Dave Filoni's Star Wars in that it feels very navel gazing. You know, I often judge my ability of the franchises, how well they're doing, on how well I can explain it to my mom. And sometimes, like, I can get my mom on Mandalorian. Okay, he's a bounty hunter and he has to take care of a baby, right? I can't explain the fact that, okay, the baby comes back because in Book of Boba Fett, well, he replaces Jabba the Hutt. And so Baby Yoda failed at his Jedi training because he didn't want to do it anymore, even though that's what they fought for the first 2 seasons. And he just wanted to go back to the cult that caused a really big uproar because his mask was taken off, but only because he wanted to save the baby. But they're surprisingly welcoming to the baby.
But then they didn't care. Yeah.
Yeah, and then they didn't care. And then this lady who really wants this sword, who lost it because it was given to her, then gets it back because it was given to her again. But that was the whole
But it's okay.
That was from a show called The Clone Wars. You know what I mean? It's like, it's too much. It's too much,
Yeah.
Dave. I can't do it. I want to. And things like Skeleton Crew gives me hope because it's like I don't know, not explainable, but
I
like
think
a
shows-
concept that can grasp onto. You know, am I making any sense? I'm sorry.
No, you make total sense. And I think shows, regardless of genre, fantasy, comedy, sitcom, whatever, drama, they do better when they aren't trying to make future seasons. So Mandalorian, the last season, I had this whole theory that Din Djarin was going to turn on his covert because he's going to realize that they're a fucking cult indoctrinating children that have no other choice because they rescued them from whatever, right? And they're taking these children and they're basically just growing their ranks over the years, right? And Bo-Katan woke his ass up to it because Din Djarin's kind of in love with Bo-Katan, but that's a whole other thing. But she woke him up to it and said, hey, this is like a culty religion thing that you're doing. Maybe you shouldn't be part of that and just help me. You want to be a Mandalorian for real and what we actually stand for. Let's do it together, me and you, Din Djarin. And he was going to switch sides, and that's how they were going to conclude the Mandalorian story. They went in the complete opposite direction, and they were like, no, actually, the covert is actually fine. Never, forget the fact that they're like indoctrinating kids into their cult, and let's just make this about, I don't know, Lizzo and Jack Black. And all this stuff that's basically just designed
Lizzo
to
has
give
caught
us...
enough strays. She's dealing with a lot. Okay,
nothing against her, nothing at all against her, but it's more so like they lost the thread with the overall story of the Mandalorian, and it's just kind of like, I thought it was about Din Djarin.
Wait, you thought Bo-Katan and Din Djarin were gonna get together?
No. I think Bo-Katan doesn't care at all in any way regarding Din Djarin, but I think Din Djarin is inspired by her in a way that he has never been inspired before.
Bo-Katan is gay.
Right.
Bo-Katan
but Din Djarin doesn't know that.
Woman-loving woman. There's no fucking way that woman is straight. Actually, Katie Sackhoff, if you're watching this clip, is Bo-Katan gay? Does she swing both ways? I don't want to discriminate. I just don't.
I think she's too busy for that. I think she's too busy for that.
Oh, busy.
Yeah, I think
she's getting busy. That's what's happening.
On that throne?
Hey, the pose was a dead giveaway.
Yeah.
Come on, Stefania, what do you think? Is Bo-Katan straight?
No, absolutely not. The vibe that she gives off, come on.
Make this a poll on the Instagram account.
What do we think?
Is Bo-Katan straight? Leave your answers in the poll in the comments down below. There's no fucking way. There's zero chance. I don't know. Well, let's see what the audience thinks,
Yeah, no, I guess what I'm trying to say with Mandalorian, and to your point, Star Wars in general, like, they're just designed at this point to tell stories that would work better in a comic book medium or an animated medium, but in live action, when you're doing it to just make more seasons of it, it becomes
like
not
a wiki
fun.
entry.
Right. Yeah.
Speaking of wiki entries, we need to get on the still scrolling wiki entry. We need to make our still scrolling pedia. Just kidding. I think that's the end of our show this evening.
Yeah.
Do you feel good about this?
Absolutely.
I
also I want to throw in, because we forgot to mention this earlier, we place bets. I mean, nothing like to win.
I mean,
but
that's the end of our show, guys.
No!
Thanks for watching.
Bye. Stefania didn't win.
Before.
Okay. Well, what was your bet?
So we placed bets at the end of the last show about who would make it to the Super Bowl, right?
We did.
And I did say Eagles and Chiefs, and they are going to the Super Bowl. Chiefs is like the third year in a row, right? Or not in a row, but like, right? I don't know.
I think it is in a row.
I don't
I
Right?
think it's
Is
the
it?
fourth year in a row?
I don't know.
Yeah,
Either way,
they're good at sport.
either way,
you won,
this is
you
a
won.
great.
Give it up.
Yeah. Cut it. Anyway, I can't give you too big-headed. It's fine. You won. Jeez.
Like I said last time, it would be a great money grab, but like audience viewer grab, whatever, for this Super Bowl if the Eagles and Chiefs made it to the Super Bowl, because Eagles fans are wild, and also Taylor Swift for the Chiefs. So it's gonna be a money grab for real.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm interested in the Kendrick Lamar situation on halftime and
For sure.
the Eagles fan situation post game, whether they win or lose, really, because I could see them freaking out in both scenarios.
They will. Either when they win or lose, they will do. You will see like downtown Philly, just a mob. Anyway,
Punching horses. How many horses will they punch? That kind of deal.
I'm an Abbott Elementary fan, so I'm rooting for the Eagles because I want someone to make a cameo on Abbott Elementary.
I love
That's
that
what I
show.
want. You know, all of them are Eagles fans. Come on, the Super Bowl episode of Abbott Elementary. Come on,
Yeah.
It writes itself. You know they're already writing it. Come on.
For sure.
But anyway, I think that's the end of our show. Thank you so much for scrolling with us. You can catch us next week. Well, not me. I'm going to be in Mexico next week, so I won't be here. Follow us on Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky, all
YouTube,
the thing on YouTube, all that stuff. And we will see
MySpace.
you.
Like and
MySpace. We're on
subscribe on
MySpace?
YouTube.
We're on
MySpace.
MySpace. We're on LiveJournal.
Are we actually on MySpace?
I made an AOL.
MySpace still live?
AOL. Alta Vista.
Get the fuck out of here. No, you did not.
We are not.
See you guys later.